What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video on my channel, Early Plays, and just like what every other Grand Cross YouTuber has done, they've made a tier list, so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to make a global only tier list, as you can see here. I don't think I've missed any characters, so I'm going to go through all the characters, and not fully in depth, because obviously, you know, it's pretty obvious that some characters are just trash and some are good, so I feel like I don't really need to explain that. But however, you know, if you ever want me to, I probably could make an in-depth, you know, review on every single character, but do that in parts, not in one whole video, because that'll be like over an hour long. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I grabbed every unit I think from here, and yeah, I got all the R units, all the SR units, all the SR units, and yeah, we're just gonna go through all of them and see which ones I think are good, which ones I think are okay, which ones I think are bad. Now, realistically, because of the whole gear system, no character is bad, because if you put in enough effort, you can actually make any character look good, which is a bit crazy, because if you look at some people's YouTube channels, they make Elaine look like a good damage dealer, which is kind of crazy. so yeah. Now, start before this is my opinion. Obviously, I've watched other tier lists, and like, there's a massive difference with what people think. Like, some people, I don't know, may think that blue Malleolus here is terrible, and some may think it's good. Or like, I don't know, I think I've seen in like some tier lists they put what is it, like this character here, Fraser, like I think I was watching someone, they put A tier, and then other people put like D tier or whatever, so I don't know. Yeah, so for my tier list there is 6 tiers: SS tier, S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, and the yeah tier. Which you know, I need to say less about that one. You know what's going there, but yeah. So to start things off, we have the Blue King, which is at the moment, I think everybody can agree on this, the best unit in Global Grand Cross at the moment. Oh yeah, also I did not include the corn strip units because obviously they're not in the game yet, so I haven't included them in it. So Blue King, in my opinion, is the best unit in the game without a doubt. I think I think 100% of the player base will agree with that. If you know, if you've used it, the King good enough, you know, to see how good he is. He's crazy on PvE. PvP is really good on raids or deathmatch, whatever you want. It's just incredible, and will be incredible for probably years of playing this game. So yeah. Next up is the Blue Fat King. I mean, yeah. I mean, he has usage, okay, but yeah. My first initial reaction is yeah, but realistically I feel like, you know, you can get some usage out of him, because obviously, you know, he does have one function in counters and stuff, which is pretty handy, so it's not too bad. So no, we'll keep him at C tier for now. Hauser, Red Hauser. Hauser is my favourite unit in Grand Cross, so he's going at S tier, and you know, he's a really good PvP unit, and he's a good PvE farmer, mainly good for PvE farming. Also, when penetration becomes a thing, he will be incredible for PvP, like, a lot better. Eddie Hawk, I'd probably say A tier at the moment, because I feel like where she shines the most, those games haven't been released yet. So, but she's still good because she can still work with other characters. So I feel like she's A tier for me. Blue Gotha is a B tier unit for me. I mean, he has debuffs, which is nice. He can seal buff and debuff skills, which is handy for stuff like PvP, because a lot of characters like King that have debuffs, and characters like Arthur that Red Arthur that have buff skills, all that stuff. Red Gilthunder that, you know, give themselves taunt and that. I think it negates that, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, that's decent. He has weak point on his attack card, so that's not too bad. The ultimate removes all gauge, but like, he doesn't really do all that much. Like, on paper he looks good, but in game he's not that good. Blue Hendrickson is B tier for me. His ignite card is decent, has a lot of lifesteal, and that's pretty much it. Really doesn't do a lot of damage, seeing that's what he's, you know, there to do, because, you know, he's got the ignite, so he can do more damage, but it doesn't really work out that well. Green Elaine, another B tier unit. She's alright, because she removes things like ult gauge, has stun on her ultimate, but yeah, she's not really. She ain't the best unit in the game. Blue Diane, I'm gonna put A tier, because again, it's the same thing with Eddie Hawk. Eventually there'll be gamers where this Blue Diane will be very helpful in certain things, but at the moment she's not, so I'm gonna put A tier for now. Green Halberd, A tier, because, you know, he's a booster. He's very handy for raids and all that stuff. Has a, you know, AoE damage, which is nice, and has got a resurrection thing on his passive, so decent unit. Mainly used for Grey Demon, which is kind of the same thing with all these units. You know, obviously Halberd isn't that useful right now, but will be eventually. Green Jericho, S tier unit for me, just because she's an incredible damage dealer. Does so much damage, which is incredible. She's pretty good for PvP, I want to say, but not really my first choice. Probably one of my last choices for PvP, but the amount of damage she does is crazy. Green King. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Yeah, I mean, actually, nah, I'll put him C tier because, you know, he can be used for farming. Because he has double AoE, ignores defense as well on his main attack card, so it's not too bad, I guess, but it's pretty bad. Green Malleolus is SS tier at the moment, just because, you know, you can use him in literally everything. Because even though Red Demon is the only raid, Malleolus is still a very handy unit to use on Red Demon. Because if you haven't pulled for characters like Gustav, because you haven't done enough multis, then Malleolus is a good replacement because he stuns on his ultimate, so you can use him, he's very handy. Guila is C tier for me. Just the whole double single target thing is yeah, and her damage output isn't that great. She doesn't really, you know, offer too much to a team, you know, to being actually quite useful. Green Elizabeth, hovering between S and A, but I think I'm going to put A tier for now. She can be quite useful on PvP because of her passive, because she can give 2 ult gauges to herself, and then when she uses ult, she gives 2 ult gauges, so she can be very helpful. Green Skinny King is S tier, because obviously, you know, he does a lot of damage, does a lot of crit damage, can be useful for other game modes, but when Grey Demon does come out, that's when it'll really shine. Red Arthur at the moment is A tier for me, but just because, you know, Arthur doesn't really have any BD to combo well with. It's the main thing with the A tier at the moment, because all these 4 characters, you know, they're useful, but can be more useful later on. But I mean, Arthur combos well with Ellie Hawk, but you know, Ellie Hawk and Arthur, they're not really characters you want to be investing into at the moment, and it's not characters that a lot of people are going to have invested into yet. So yeah, that's why I put A tier. Blue Barn, again, it's hovering between S and A, so I'm going to put him A tier for now. I wanted to put him S tier because of how good he is for Red Demon. He's very, very handy for that. Debuffs and reduced attack related stats, and he ignores defense on his main attack card. Reduce ult gauge, very handy for Red Demon. I want to say he's the best unit for Red Demon. So yeah, it's A tier. Gil Thunder, I'm gonna put him A tier as well. Yeah, Gil Thunder for me is A tier because, I mean, his main purpose is being a tank. He isn't really that helpful for things like farming. He's a good PvP unit because of how tanky he is. He's good at allowing your other characters to, you know, shine and get their ults off as well, which is very handy. So yeah, I'm gonna put Gil Thunder in A tier for that one. Red Barn is S tier for me. I'm putting Red Barn S tier because he's very useful for Red Demon as well. I'm gonna put Blue Barn S tier as well. He's really good for Red Demon. Has weak point, can be used on PvP as well, because, you know, he gets rid of things like ult gauge, and that stops him from getting ult gauge, I think. Has decent ultimate, not bad, and has weak point on his main attack card, so he works really well with debuff characters. So you could use him in correlation with Jericho, would be very, very good. Red Diane, she ain't that great. I think she's a C tier, B tier. She's a B tier unit for me. Just again, it's the whole just single target things, but their single target cards don't work really that well with each other, so it's not really that great. Now the first unit to go into, yeah, realistically, Grimoire might be, I want to say, the second worst unit in the game. He's so bad. Grimoire is only useful, well, he's not useful for anything. He's so trash. He's so bad. This Grimoire is literally, no. He's gonna, if I ever pull him, he's staying at S star forever. No, never happening. Never gonna be used. Green Barn, he's C tier for me. He's not that great. I used him when I played JP. I thought he was good. I was deluded then. But nah, this barn isn't really that great. I mean, he has the whole like snatch thing that the coin shop barn has, but and then has the lifesteal. But he's terrible. Has the remove all gauge on the ultimate. I guess it's alright. You know, gains HP at the end of every turn. I think on his passive, something like that, based on the HP he's lost or something. I mean, yeah, he's not that great. I mean, if I was being kind of put in B tier, but he's C tier for now. Slater is S tier. Slater is also S tier. Again, just because of the purpose that he has on Red Demon. He's really handy on Red Demon. Yeah, I would put him A tier, but I feel like he's better than all these characters here, so I'm going to put him S tier for that. Blue Diane is top of S tier, really good at the moment. Incredible character, really good on PvE and PvP. His seals attack skills does a hell of a lot of damage on it. Her ultimate, she increases her attack by 6% every turn for 5 turns, so she can increase her attack up to 30%, which is very handy. Blue Arthur, I know later on he can be useful for Super Boss, but for now he's C tier. And yeah, this character might be the worst unit in the game. Friesa, I don't really know how you say her name. She is so trash, so bad. Honestly, no, never gonna use her in my life. Now, this tier was basically for Guila and her, just because you know she's that bad. These characters are just that bad. I'd say she's the worst character in the game. Then it's Guila. And Guila being the second worst unit in the game, in my opinion, as an S star, is ridiculous. It should never happen. Green Dreyfus again is C tier. It's just like these characters now are going to be the characters that aren't really don't really need explaining. It's pretty obvious that they don't really do anything. Same with Green Hendrickson. Kane, I'm going to put B tier because he's very helpful on raids because of his passive. Has double ignite cards, which is very handy, especially because ignites are good for Crimson Demon. Jillian is I'm going to put B tier because of her passive. Her passive is very handy. Barn is an A tier unit for me, really handy. Because reduces alt gauge, ignores defense, so he can be really helpful on Red Demon. He's a good tank as well because he has evasion on his 3-star card on his second ability, very handy. Has a lot of lifesteal as well, which is really good. Greenhauser is terrible. Vineheight is A tier for me as well. Really good at AoE farmer, very good for the story mode, and decent for PvP as well because he seals stances. I think it's stances, and he also seals attack skills as well. So he can do what Red Gopher does, which is very handy. Gustav, easy S tier. He's incredible. Gustav has freeze, which is very handy. So you can make your other characters do up to 200% more damage on a single target, which is very handy. The whole freezing thing is just amazing for Red Demon, really handy. Green Gopher is C tier. Green Gil Thunder is S tier because this Gil Thunder can be used literally everywhere. Gil Thunder is good for PvE farming because of his AoE attack. Gil Thunder can be used on PvP because of his passive. He's good on raids because he has the boost and all that stuff. He's just crazy. He's amazing. Green Alley Hawk, I've seen myself actually get a lot of use out of her, so I'm going to put her A tier because of many of her Pierce. Is it Pierce now? Pierce rate, yeah. Pierce rate attack card, which is very handy. It's the same as Demon Malleolus, the blue one that will eventually come out. It's really good. Yeah, very good character. Blue Melee, I put him B tier, so he'd be like near the top of B tier, I'd say, but I'm just gonna order him like that for now. Yeah, Blue Melee's alright. It's just the whole thing, like with his attack card, he's only works in correlation with other units, and it's you might as well not use him at that point. He's only his main function is to counter. Really, he's very handy with that. Guila is C tier for me. She's not really that great. Same with these Jericho. The Jerichos are C tier. This House is C tier. Vivian, I put B tier because she ignites. She can disable ultimates as well, which is very handy. Red Diane is C tier. Red Slater is A tier because he literally seals everything. He can literally just render an opponent useless. He basically can petrify and freeze, but not actually doing that. Because he seals literally everything except for attack skills on his debuff card. However, his ultimate seals attack skills and has lifesteal, so Red Slater is very good in my opinion. Jericho is C tier. Guila, I'm going to put B tier because he's a very handy unit for PvP. has a 600% multiplier, reduces attack related stats on his on an AoE ultimate, which is very good and does damage. And also has the perfect cube ability that Merlin has, which is very handy. Red Ellie-Hawk, I'm gonna put A tier for now. Red Ellie-Hawk is very handy for Red Demon because she's a free-to-play option, and obviously SR pendants are easier to get than SSR pendants at the moment, so she's very handy. Could possibly go up to S tier, I don't know, but I'm gonna keep her at A tier for now. Who else we got? We got the other Red Elizabeth. I'm gonna put her S tier simply just because of her healing. She can be very useful to have in the back on PvP because she heals 10% of the max HP when damaged of your allies, which is very handy. Heals a lot. I think when she uses her level 2 and level 3 card, healing card, they get an ult gauge. She steals attack skills as well, which is very handy. Red Wraith is a C tier. Blue Grimoire is a C tier. Blue Guild Thunder is a C tier. Now moving on to the R's. Aleone, I'm going to put B tier because Aleone is good. His passive is good. He ignores resistance, which is a very good thing to ignore. He has a taunt, which is very handy, which is shown from Red Guild Thunder because you know how good he is. So yeah, I put him B tier. It's decent. Marmus is C tier, I think. Twigo is yeah, I'll put Twigo C tier. Jude is C tier. Taizu is C tier. Golgius, I'll put him B tier. Just because he's useful in raids as well, but you know, actually no, I put him C tier actually because if Kane's at B tier, then you know these two characters aren't on the same level. Kane's much better. Simon for me is B tier. I really like Simon because he's an easy fate partner to Slater, which is he's a free to play character to get. Also, his passive increases damage dealt by 15% in PvP, so he's a very good body unit to have in PvP. Ruin, I'm also going to put in PvP because he's actually pretty. Did I say PvP? In B tier, because Ruin is very useful on the things because he has the stun ultimate that this Malleolus has, the green Malleolus, the counter Malleolus has. He also can decrease your enemy's attack up to 75%, which is amazing. That's really handy. It can be very useful, and has an okay attack card. I think it removes buffs, I think, and stances and stuff like that on his attack card. And finally, Hugo is C tier, but eventually Hugo can be very good and will be very good. So yeah, this is my tier list. I think it's alright. Obviously there's going to be some controversial things here, probably. I don't know. I know some people might think that this Blue Guild Thunder is good, but I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, there are some changes that I would maybe make. I don't know. I'm still kind of considering like putting Red Ellie-Hawk up to S tier, this Diane down to C tier, possibly this Elaine down to C tier. Jillian could possibly go C tier. Yeah, it's tempting to put these bonds down to A tier, but I think they should stay S tier for now. Slater, I'm fine with them being S tier. And actually, yeah, I think I think I'm alright with that tier list. Obviously, you know, these characters are utter trash, so I would never invest into them. If you've got all these characters 80 plus, not 80 plus, 80 6-star, all full UR gear, like then you can invest into these characters. I'd rather you put UR gear onto Hugo than these guys. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about my tier list. Let me know what you would change, or what you would keep, what units you would buff up, or put down in the tier list. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Yeah, it's just been my global tier list for Global Grand Cross. I really want there to be another banner to come out, because I have like 200 plus gems sitting in my account right now that I want to spend, and I'm going to need to spend soon because I'm going to end up running out of resources, and I want to spend coins so I can get more resources, get more characters, and hopefully eventually when these coin shop units come out, buy them. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I've been Elaine. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.